Man, that guy lives a pretty good life.
Welcome, everyone, to another Saturday Live show. I hope you enjoyed that intro. It's a new one revised. Kind of played a trick on you there, kind of brought it in pretty slow, somber, and then brought it up for the intro to get me excited to talk to everyone today. So it's been a great week. We have some new news around the vlogger dance-off. So remember last week, if you tuned in, we had 4 vloggers dancing in the Did You Know segment. Guess what? It's taken off. We have 5 new submissions this week. 5. So many submissions came in, I had actually split the video. So when we do the intro for the Did You Know news segment, I'll show you the 5 new ones, and then we'll end the segment with the 4 from the previous week. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you everyone that sent your video clip in. There was one vlogger who sent it in last minute. I think that vlogger's in the live chat. I won't bust you out, but whew, man, that was tough. I had to go heads down. Just got it done 15 minutes before the show. Spliced it in, got it going because it was such a great video clip. I wanted to make sure they were represented. Similar to what Phil from Le Pub Pattaya did to me last week. He kind of submitted it in overnight, and I woke up going, oh, I got to get that to the video, got to edit. So that was a bit crazy, but I'm happy to get it done. So we got that coming up in just a couple minutes. Now, today's guest is CJ Paradise. He's going to be rejoining us for the second time from Hua Hin, Thailand. Now, I'm always excited to have return guests back because I feel like they're friends of the channel and we can kind of double click into some of the things that we did not talk about on his first trip into the show. So looking forward to kind of talking with him. We had a great pre-interview the other day, just like 2 friends talking, man. It's just really nice and relaxing. So really looking forward to talking to him about just general stuff. But then also the more important news is he's living in a hot zone right now. So we have to be, I guess, careful the words we use because the word I would use is not one that I'm supposed to be using. So I'll just say that restrictions is what's in play in Hua Hin. So we'll talk to him about that. What's life like? And I'd love to talk to him about, if he was not living in Hua Hin, where else would he choose to live? Would it be still in Thailand or would it be somewhere else that he might have visited? CJ has visited many different countries and he settled on and picked Thailand. So we'll talk to him again why that happened because, man, he was really a world traveler there before he discovered Thailand. So I think that'll be a great conversation. I wanted to say thank you to the mods today. You guys came in early today. I see that, very mindful of that, helping out. You guys are always just on point. So I appreciate that because, like I've said before, it allows me to focus on the guests and the show. And I don't have to worry about anything else. And then the mods actually text me if I forget to ask some of the questions in the chat. So if there's a good one, they'll say, hey, you got to check out this comment, go to that one. So thank you for doing that as well. Tommy J's big on that. He'll text me, make sure that I'm not missing stuff. So let me go ahead and go to the chat and welcome in some people because we got a lot of people in today, which is great. Welcome, everyone. Let's start with the last one coming in first. Gotta love Thailand. Hi, Jeff, saying hello to Jeff. Tommy J saying, Greeny, congrats on 500K views. Wow, Greeny, congratulations. That is great. And just so people know, everyone tends to kind of really focus on subscriber counts. And that's a great metric, right? Us YouTube creators always like to see more and more people being a part of the family. But the net of it is you get paid on views, not on subscribers. So the fact that Greeny has really increased his view count means that it's month over month. He's doing quite well. And I've noticed that, when he first came on the show, we were trying to get him over 1,000 subscribers. I think he was just at a couple handful of subscribers, was just coming over in quarantine in Bangkok. Had him on the show twice, and I've really enjoyed seeing his channel just take off. He has some really high quality videos on there. He has his girlfriend Phi now a part of the videos, and I think it just kind of gives an extra layer of fun on the videos. So congratulations, Greeny Travels, for all that you do to create those videos. He's definitely very quick to post those up. So hats off to him. It takes a lot of work if you're having a good time in Thailand to actually take time and edit the videos. So congratulations to that, man. Carl's Thailand saying congrats to Greeny Travels, and Carl's Thailand is getting closer and closer to his 1,000 subs. So we're going to definitely be keeping an eye on that over the next couple of weeks. Carl actually has a great video of him skydiving in Pattaya. So those people might have noticed that NDTVI Nick did a skydiving trip. But if you look closely at that video, who's in the background? It's Carl. Carl does everything, man. I was not surprised. I was actually watching that with my mom. I was like, is that Carl? I think Carl's getting to be like Brian Flowers, where he's just everywhere. Carl's like on a cliff somewhere hanging out. He's chasing elephants, and now he's in a plane jumping out skydiving. So I think Carl is everywhere. So good for you, Carl. That was an awesome video. Really appreciated that. That was a good one. Let's see here. Paul Outcake 1972. So good morning. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. So welcome to the channel and welcome to the show. Always like to have new guests coming in. And just off to the cuff, I won't mention this more than once today because I feel like I don't like YouTube creators that do this. But just so you know, I'm about 18 subscribers away from 7,000. So if there are any new people in the chat, I would greatly appreciate you maybe considering subscribing to the channel. I'm so close. You know, today is Saturday morning for me. I'd love to meet up with my mom later on and go have a nice beverage and a nice meal, a lunch, and celebrate 7,000 subscribers. So if anyone's new to the channel, you haven't subscribed, I definitely appreciate you being a part of those 12 additional subscribers to get me over the 7,000. It's a big metric for me. I'm really looking forward to that. And Greeny Travel says, thanks, Richard. No problem, man. Happy to do that. You're a great dude. Let me just maximize my window here, take care of some technical stuff. And Daystate Fox saying hello to Tommy. Daystate Fox, I've seen some videos and pictures of the Daystate arms. Is that what we're calling it? Daystate arm. I get confused because you have studios in UK and you have a studio in Thailand. So his man cave in the UK is called Daystate Arms, and it's looking pretty good. Got the TV in the corner on a little arm you can pull out, move around, and it's great. So good for him. I'm actually Daystate, just so you know. We need to talk more about this offline. Hold me accountable for this. I do want to make a trip out to the UK when I come back to Thailand. I'd like to come out a couple days early and then meet up with you. We can hang out, watch something on the man cave there, and then head out. If you're looking to go to Thailand at the same time I am, would love to sort of have that tour going at the same time. So as we leave Heathrow Airport, maybe coming over to Thailand. So I've been to the UK once. Would love to come over and visit you and then come on out to Thailand. If the timelines work out. I think it'd be a great video too. So that would be good. Get something interesting on the channel, right? Gotta love Thailand. Saying hello to everyone. Let's see who we got in here. So Jeff Johnson, I asked him for an update on the Indiana weather. I don't think I've seen it quite yet. I'm always curious because Jeff is in the middle of the US here. So it's always interesting to see what the temperatures are like there. Robert Ann, hello to Zcon. Hello, Robert. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate that. Jeff Johnson saying hello to 2 Passports, 1 Dream. And that is great. I'm going to see if I can't get back up there so I can say hello to 2 Passports, 1 Dream. Mango Sticky Rice, my San Francisco brother, hello to you. I will let you know, Mango. So I got my first jab the other day here in San Francisco. Quite excited about that. 1 down, 1 to go. Next one coming up May 5th. So I don't know if you've gotten yours yet. I went over to like a mass immunizations site here in San Francisco, got it done, and I was actually quite impressed with how orderly it was. You know, you had an appointment, you walked in, I was back, no line to wait in. They were very orderly, and it was great. They'd make you wait around for about 10 minutes after and make sure you don't just kilo over. So once I passed those 10 minutes, I was good to go with my little card. So I've seen some of these cards as being like larger. Mine is actually small enough to where it fits in my little passport sleeve. So I'm really excited about that because I was worried I was going to have to bend it or something like that. So happy about that. So let me know if you're up for yours here soon. Leslie Robinson saying hello from Philly, Pennsylvania. Wow, great to have you here. Thanks for coming in there, Leslie. Nice to have you live. Robert Ashley saying, hi, Daystate Fox. You echoed my feelings yesterday when you said you are British, but Thailand is where you feel totally at home and in peace. Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate to that. And I kind of feel like I have to second that as well. I really feel like Thailand is just kind of the nice home for me as well. So yeah, it's kind of becoming a little bit of a cliche, but I think what's important is that we all act on that as opposed to just kind of saying it. I think we're all trying to take steps to get back there. I think one thing I've noticed during this whole unfortunate worldwide illness is I think a lot of us are taking stock and inventory of what's important to us. You know, is it important to live in a big city where you got a lot of crime and a lot of noise, or is it more important to live your dream out in a country where you want to live, like Thailand? So that's definitely what's been on my mind. 2 Passports, 1 Dream. Welcome to the show. We'll be having them on the show next week. Adriana and Dylan will be coming on next week to join us. And just so you know, we may have to time code that interview because I just know that we're going to be talking for about a half an hour on Formula One racing. So I found out that they're big Formula One fans, just like myself. So we got the Formula One race at Imola today, and I'll be watching that after that, the qualifying and then the race tomorrow. But one thing I find is when you find a Formula One fan, you can just talk for hours. So I have to have my moderators make sure to keep us straight. Like, stop talking about that. You're losing viewers. Go on to something interesting, because Formula One is interesting to me and interesting to a lot of people. So hit me up in the chat if you're a Formula One fan too. I know that Netflix has done a couple series on that, so they brought in new people as Formula One fans. But yeah, we'll be talking a lot about that. Aki living abroad. Hello all. Nice to have you in here, Aki. Appreciate your messages too, by the way. I appreciate when you message me like that. Appreciate that. A lot of great encouragement. And Daystate Fox was saying the Bose system was engaged. That was nice to hear, Daystate. He had texted me a couple weeks ago saying, Richard, you put a lot of bass in your intros. I think his subwoofer has him having a little bit of trouble keeping up. Yeah. Cool. So let's do this. I think we've gotten to the point. We got some comments coming in. Keep those coming. I'll try to get to most of those today. Let's see. Robert Mack is saying hello to Bob Sears. That's great. So I think this might be a good time. It's about 15 minutes in to cue the Did You Know news segment. So, this started out as a Did You Know profiling weekly vloggers, ones that I came across that thought were awesome. But I thought what might be a nice enhancement to that is have vloggers come on and dance if you'd like me to mention your channel. And then as, a thank you, we keep you in that Did You Know intro. I've been really pleasantly surprised at how many entries we've had. I just kind of gave some messages to some people, and it was great. So I'm really excited to show you this week's. Like I said before, we have so many entries, 5 new entries today, that I had to split out last week's Did You Know into what will be the outro for this segment. But I'm super excited to show this to you. Let's bring it up. Hopefully, guys, make sure you're laughing at this. This is all supposed to be good humor. So have a good laugh. Enjoy this. I'll see you back in about, I guess, a minute 25.
Richard, we are just happy to be here.
We're happy to be here.
We've made it now, haven't we? We're officially, we've made it as vloggers. We're on the Richard Travel Show.
Yes. You're very good at it.
That was good.
Oh, I'm never going to live that dancing down. I have not got a dancing bone in my body. If you guys only knew how many takes that took, it was crazy. I actually looked at Alpha Interactions dance. I tried to mirror that a little bit. And you got Mom at the end there. That was very good. Okay, let's just use that one. Crazy. But thank you for everyone that submitted your video. I was so happy. So 2 Passports, 1 Dream came in at the 11th hour with their video. I took a look at it. I'm like, oh, I got to throw that in there. So heads down, got that done about 15 minutes before the show went live today. So thank you for that. So let's profile these great vloggers that you saw. So NDTVI, we had them on the show last week, and they're doing their weekly live shows from Pattaya, which are great. Martin was nice enough to bring his little kilt, and he stood up and did a dance for us, and I was able to snag that. That was just enough time. I had to kind of loop it around a little bit too. Wasn't quite long enough, so did a little finagling in the video editing software to make it look a little longer. But really appreciate them coming on the show last week. We've almost hit 10,000 views with that live show, so really had a lot of great responses and a lot of views. So that's been great. And I was actually on their members only area last week. I did a little call-in show with them. We were talking about stuff as well. So a true partnership. And one of the things they mentioned was that when I do get back to Thailand, when I get to Pattaya, I'll be doing my Saturday live show in their studio. So really happy to have that. They're true partners and really become true friends. You know, I text Martin a couple of times a week. We kind of run technical stuff by each other. And it's just really nice to have friends that are doing the same kind of thing. You know, we're not enemies, we're friends. We're trying, we really feel like the rising tide will raise all ships. So we're really happy. I was really happy to have him on the show, and they're doing some great stuff over there. So I don't need to tell you guys that because you're probably already just subscribed to his channel. But if you don't, please check it out. He does that great weekly live show. And then a new vlogger for us, I see that's my style. So she's one of Thailand's top fitness models. You might have noticed she's very good shape. So you can follow her adventures and her photo shoots to urban landscapes such as Nana Plaza and then out in the beaches and stuff. She puts all of her videos on her YouTube channel and some really great stuff. So we're looking to schedule her in to the live show to come on in a couple weeks. So we're still a little booked up, but we're looking to try to get her in. Maybe we can bring her in after a vlogger segment, maybe the last half hour or something like that. But really interesting girl, doing some great videos in Thailand. I would say go check that channel out. She's got over 5,000 subscribers, and I think that channel is just going to blow up as well. So great videos there. I really enjoyed watching all of them when I was kind of finding that out. And then she sent me the dancing video a couple of days ago. Just great. So she's pumped to come on the show at some point, and we're going to be working with her to get that schedule going. And of course, She's Wonderflow comes in with a video, right? She's so great at promoting herself. Her and Note do a great job. So they have a great channel. You know, when we last had them on, they told me they were at 1.7K subs and they were looking to get to 2,000. Man, they blew right past 2,000. They're almost at 3,000 right now. I checked last night. So again, tremendous growth. I called it, guys. That channel is really doing some special videos. They're really set up for success there. So I'm really happy to see that their videos are performing better. They're getting consistent views and the subscribers are kicking up. That means that new audiences are being exposed to their videos and they're clicking subscribe. So that's really great for them. Really appreciate having them on. Their latest video is staying 2 nights in Koh Lipe, or as they say, Gat Lipe. So hopefully, Note, you think I pronounced that okay, Gat Lipe. So Note's probably sitting there going, you're about 90% right. I've always made a joke. If a Thai person says you're about 90% right, it means you are not right. They could barely understand you. But we're looking to have Note and Flora back on once they hit 10,000 subs, which will probably happen in 2 weeks. So we'll have them back. But check out their videos. They got some great stuff. Note's really good at using the drone to capture footage as well. So really some great edited videos. And next week's guest, 2 Passports, 1 Dream. They have a great video series on hotels around Chiang Mai for people with varying budgets. So it's like a little bit of a test they did for themselves, starting out at very little, like 10 pounds, moving up 20, 30, 40, 50. I think their latest one is 50-pound budget, and it's titled 5-Star Luxury Studio. So this is one of my favorite ones in the series because it's a nice hotel. That's probably why I like it so much. But it is funny because one thing they struggle with, which I think a lot of us struggle with, and Greeny Travels would echo this as well, it's tough to find a soft bed in Thailand. So if you're from the West, like you're used to a certain cushion in your bed, the Thailand beds are very firm. And I always laugh when I see Adriano jump onto the bed for the bed test, because they have a bed test they do for each hotel. They jump on, and you can tell instantly. First of all, the bounce is not really a bounce. It's like you kind of land. I think the last time she said she was scared that she might hurt her hip because if the bed's too firm, it's like jumping on a rock, you know. But yeah, so she did that. It was a little better than previous beds, is what she said, but still very firm. So I love watching that because anyone that's on the West that knows Thailand beds, any hotel you've been to, it's usually on the very firm side. I think there's probably one bed I've stayed at when I stayed at the CMCM at the end of Walking Street. Really nice room. I think I lucked out. I got like a 3-bedroom suite, just me, because I booked it last minute. That was on a special. Got a 3-bedroom suite, and those beds are very comfortable. Very much like Western style, but you don't oftentimes get that. So check out 2 Passports, 1 Dream. We're having them on next week. We're going to be doing a pre-interview during the week next week, but they're just a lot of fun and great couple, great videos. So I mentioned earlier that, if you did want to send me a clip, you can do so by sending me an email with your dancing clip. I also do Dropbox uploads as well. So if you prefer, if it's a larger file, if you prefer, you want to keep in the native format, I can do a Dropbox share as well. But you can actually email your video to richardtravel@gmail.com. And depending on what the comments are this week, guys, I may delete my segment out. That's horrible dancing. But, I felt like I was challenged last week. I saw a comment in there like, hey, Richard, you're asking everyone else to dance. Where's your dance? I'm like, all right, I got to do it. Take one for the team. So that's actually my best dancing. That's like 1 of 4 takes. So that wasn't just like something I did. That's actually the best. You guys should see the worst. Oh, the worst is really bad. I'll never show that. That's going into the vault and locked up for good. So, but hopefully you appreciated that. Let me go ahead and show you then what I was talking about. If you didn't see last week, we did have 4 initial contestants that came in, and I have that now separated out as a did you know. So check this out. We got some usual suspects like Ollie Brown, the Fubar Traveler, Phil Lepub Pataya in this video. So let's check this out, and we'll get back to the chat and then think about welcoming in CJ Paradise.
Richard, I'm just going to the dance now, dude.
Thailand Rob. Today is the best day of my life.
Awesome. I love those videos. I just wanted to call out Icy, who's in the chat here. Thank you, Icy, for getting me your dance video. She was great. Again, check out her channel. Very great channel. I think the mods are putting the link up there and in the chat. But what was great about Icy was I reached out to her within like 24 hours. I had a video in my inbox. So she was great. She literally just like stopped everything and did the recording of the video. So that's awesome. And she has some good dance moves. So that was cool. Very nice. And moderators, hat tip to you. I see what's going on today. Keep doing what you're doing. I really appreciate it. Mr. Mitch is like the fastest gun in the West here. So I see saying, thanks for the dance, Richard. Yep. And we'll include that in. That'll keep going. I think what we're going to do is as we move forward and get more dancers, shrink down the actual dance parts. But we're going to keep everyone in there. I think it's really cool that everyone's kind of coming through with that. And we're going to continue to profile those channels that send in dance clips. So I would love to add more to that. And again, let's see, Gary Russell saying hello, Richard. Hey, Gary, welcome to the live stream, man. Thanks for making time. And I think Day Fox was saying sweet moves there. And Gary's from the UK. So yeah, welcome to from the UK, man. Carl was talking to Greeny Travels about the Amber Hotel, Pattaya. He hated the beds there, far too soft. Oh, Carl. That's probably because Carl is used to like sleeping on the ground in a park somewhere. Carl, no bed can ever be too soft. I like the soft beds, man. I'll put a topper on mine. I like to kind of shrink into the bed, you know? So Carl, everyone should go to the Amber Hotel now and stay there. And we'll all give our review of the bed. And we'll say, Carl, that was the best bed ever. And Carl's like, so that would be great. So listen, let's go ahead and do this. Let's think about bringing in CJ Paradise. I've been talking too long this morning. I'm so excited to bring in CJ. Again, he's been on once before. We're looking to bring him back and talk about his experiences in Hua Hin. And I think I've successfully said that the right way 4 times. So now if I screw it up, it should not be a big deal. So let me go ahead and do this. For those of you that aren't familiar with CJ, I have a little intro for him that kind of talks about a little bit of who he is. We'll talk a little bit more about this, but check out this intro video. And when it's finished playing, we'll have CJ in the live show. Well, CJ, welcome to the Saturday Live Show.
Thank you.
So how would you kind of describe your channel to those that are not familiar?
Well, it's kind of my story. It's what I see through my eyes. And I've been to Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Laos, Cambodia. I mean, basically the whole Asian area. And then I came to Thailand and I'm all like, wow, it's like a second home. So then I came down to Hua Hin. Really liked it because of the beach. It's not really populated. It was just more of a laid back, relaxed kind of environment, which I like.
CJ Paradise, welcome back to the Saturday Live Show.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Happy Songkran. It's a little bit late, but hope y'all gonna have a good one. Hopefully
Man.
it'll be better in 2022.
That is a reveal. Hats off to you, man. Not like you planned that or anything. I'm so jealous.
I did it just because of the flag that you had on that shirt on the intro of me. So
Took a little bit of creative license on the thumbbril.
the
But
new
CJ
shirt,
called
so-
me out. He's like, I'm pretty sure, Richard, that shirt I'm wearing does not have an American flag on it. It does now.
I can't see Richard. I can't see the chat over here on the side of my thing, by the way.
Oh, you know what you do? If you click on the comment section, you should be
Oh,
able
okay.
to. There you go.
All right, there we go.
There
Okay.
you go. Everyone's saying, we love you, CJ. We love you.
I don't see
No,
any we love you, but it's okay.
Oh, man. Hey, so welcome back to the show. It's so awesome to have you back, man. I feel like there's so much more we could have talked about last time.
I'm sure there was. I mean, we cut it kind of short the other month, I should say. But yeah, we talked about a few things off the screen and all, but so.
Yeah, and I feel like, so you and I were just talking it up during the pre-interview, and I hate doing that because I got to say, like, well, let's cut this short because we won't have anything to talk about on the live show. I find that to be true. Like, it's not as fresh a conversation. I had to do that with Brian Flowers too. Brian Flowers, man, that guy can talk. I had to say, like, get back in the green room. You want to talk before the show? Get back in the green room. We'll bring you out later. So yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, CJ, was you're kind of in a tough spot right now, at least from us, from the outside looking in that where you're living in Hua Hin is now a hotspot, considered to be a hotspot. Is that actually the case? Are you getting a little concerned?
Let's just say that I haven't been outside very much. And something's going on here.
Just want to say, Chocolate Man Thailand, welcome to the live stream. Man, I saw a message there before about this. What's up, Richard? I guess my dance video got lost in the mail. Maybe it was on that stuck evergreen ship. Yeah, what was that, through the Suez Canal or something? Yeah, so you owe me a video, James. I'm going to like all of James's live shows and putting in the chat, hey, where's that dance video? Hey, nothing can be any worse than mine, James. Come on. I know you got some moves, man. Just 3 to 5 seconds. And CJ, I'm going to need one from you, man. CJ told me he's not really a big dancer, but I'm like,
I did one, and you think yours is bad? Mine's in the delete box already.
Oh my gosh. I found that when I sped mine up to like 120%, it looked better.
Go like this real quick, right?
Yeah, I have to be careful the words I use. The words I'd use offline would be different than ones I can use in the show. But yeah, I didn't look like I had any issues when I sped it up. It's still not very good. But hey, I'm happy to kind of make fun of myself. So, a pretty serious time.
As far as this being a hotspot, it is getting hot. I mean, they've closed a lot of the restaurants. They closed the bars. They closed the massage parlors. I was going to get a haircut, and I went down, and all the places are closed there. As far as the mall, I don't know. I haven't been in the mall yet, so I don't know if they closed it down this time or not. I have to go down there and check it out.
Is it similar to what you had to go through last time during the restrictions?
The first one, it's getting like that again. But the second time, there wasn't really anything going on here in Hua Hin as far as basically south of Bangkok. I mean, it was pretty much all open except for like when they shut down Phuket the second time around. But we were out just, of course, wearing a mask, being polite and all that kind of thing, respectful. But there wasn't any lockdowns at all last time. Nothing except for the bars. But this time it's getting pretty bad, I guess.
Martin, want to say hello to you. Thank you for coming in, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for the back and forth we had on Messenger this week. It was very helpful to hear some of the technical stuff that you're doing there. Mr. Mitch was saying thank you to Icy. That's my style for that video. That was awesome. And let's see, we've got some questions for CJ. Oh, Mr. Mitch saying, I'm not a dancer either. However, Rubber Mac and Asia and myself will dance together in Thailand for your live show. That sounds great. Chocolate Man is saying cringeworthy comes to mind when he's thinking about his thing. Interesting. And so, yeah, it's very interesting, CJ, because one of the things I was taken aback by when you and I first talked was, you've pretty much been a world traveler. You visited all different countries.
All of
then
Asia,
you came to Thailand. And I almost want to say, like, when I'm reviewing that audio of you saying that, I almost feel like you're getting a little choked up when you start talking about Thailand. Did you really feel like, wow, I'm coming home, that real homecoming feeling?
It's starting to feel like it now. I mean, when I was in Thailand, I was traveling outside to other countries, as well as when I was in Japan. I was already in Thailand when I was traveling outside to some of the other countries. I was in Thailand when I went to the Philippines in 2009. So I was already in Thailand. So I had kind of a route, if you will, in Thailand already, where the other countries I was just traveling around. I went to like the Philippines. What's the limit? 20 days, I think it is, that you can go. And I went the limit there. And it's just kind of like coming home, kind of like what you were saying in your last 10 video or whatever you want to call it. The vlog there on number 10. Kind of like coming home.
Yeah. I hang my hat on that. I really feel like when I did arrive in Thailand, I felt that way right away. And that's usually an indication that this is where you should be. I think a lot of people that end up in Thailand feel the same way. There are a lot of people that never come back or just never retire in Thailand because they think it's too difficult. So I always give props to those individuals that switch from America to a foreign country, because in our naive minds, that seems like a heck of a switch. That must be very difficult. But I think if you were to tell us, it's probably not very difficult. It's just putting one foot in front of the other, huh?
Right, exactly. And, as long as I know people over here that do it the wrong way. I mean, there are back doors that you can go into and do things that way. I mean, there are corruption all over the world, I'm sure. But I'm doing it, the straight and narrow and everything. And if I get pulled over on my motorcycle by a policeman for whatever reason, I've got all the paperwork, I've got the license, and everything's fine. So I'm not worried about it. Where other people, I'm sure, if they get pulled over and they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, they're going to worry about it. So that would be my advice. If you come over here, just do it the right way.
Yeah, do it by the book.
Right.
Greenie is saying it's possible that his dancing is worse than his singing. And I actually watched Teacher Thomas's video of him singing, and it is pretty bad. So I will say, if your dancing is worse than your singing, we'll just take a pass on submitting a dance video. It's okay,
come on,
Greenie.
Greenie, you can put something in. It can't be any worse than me.
I feel like Greenie should get Phi to help him with some dance moves. It's all about the hips, man. You got to move the hips around.
Move together.
Stuff. Yeah.
Get in there and move with Phi.
I think it would be great.
You can stand behind her.
Yeah. It's funny. So I had some of my friends that have met Phi, and they say she's a firecracker. She's great. So would love to see maybe what we should do is when we bring Greenie Travels back on the live show, we should mandate that he has to bring Phi on with him. That would be hilarious. There'd be some good banter. I could actually exit out of the live show. They would just take it over. That would be good. So funny. So one thing you mentioned is the Philippines. So I know a lot of my friends have looked at the Philippines. A lot of those people that are in Thailand now have spent time in the Philippines. And I feel like there's two schools of thought there. Now, I don't talk negatively about any country because I feel like they all have value. But what did you kind of get out of the Philippines, and why did you kind of give it a pass for Thailand?
It wasn't that I gave it a pass. It was very similar to Thailand as far as the weather being tropical. And I'm going to say this, but a lot of people don't like it, the humidity. I love it. I've got friends in Hua Hin that they're all, oh my God, it's so hot. I got to go inside to the AC today. And I'm going to go down to the beach. I'm going to go cruise around or whatever. I love it. And they can speak English in the Philippines. So it wasn't like I gave it a pass, but I found it not so appealing as far as the surroundings.
Interesting.
Even though the people can't really communicate as well in Thailand, they're a lot more friendly, I feel. And the surroundings were not as peaceful in Thailand. So that's kind of why I chose Thailand.
So do you think that would be a backup location if you, where else would you go? Chocolate Man in Thailand was asking, where would you go if you ever had to leave Thailand?
I was in Indonesia, and I've actually been there a couple of times, and I've thought about going back. So that might be on the back burner. But as far as actually putting my foot down on a different location, I really couldn't do it right now, Chocolate Man, or anybody out there. Couldn't do it. Yeah. I don't know. I know Chocolate Man was in the Philippines for a while, so he kind of has the same experience.
Sean Collins was making a statement that he's out of ASQ about 2 weeks, I'm out of ASQ in about 2 weeks, still in Bangkok, but I want to move to smaller cities, and I'm thinking of Hua Hin. Does that kind of jive with what you thought? Did you feel like Bangkok sensory overload for you, CJ, and you prefer the small city of Hua Hin? Exactly.
When I was living in Bangkok, I went to Chonburi, Pattaya, and I mean the bars and that scene. It's great. I loved it. And then I came to Hua Hin. I actually had a friend that lived in America living in Hua Hin, so I came over for a weekend, and you still had everything there, but it was just a lot more quiet. So I kind of migrated down towards Hua Hin, and then after I bought my motorcycle, I started just taking off and driving all kinds of places down south. I've been, all over down south now. So,
yeah. Do you rent your motorcycle? Or did you end up purchasing it?
No, I bought it. I bought it. Yeah.
Do you recommend that for expats?
Pardon?
You think it's better to own one versus renting one?
It depends on how long you're here. I mean, if I were to sell my bike right now, what I paid for it over the years, it would have been much cheaper to buy it than to rent one. You can rent a scooter for like 2,000 baht a month, a scooter. So you can't go, long distance. But it all depends on how long you're here. If you're gonna settle down and stay in Thailand, I would suggest you buy a bike. Yeah.
Okay. Greenie Travels is saying Fi's head just perked up like a lollipop. So she's definitely coming on then, Greenie. We got to see, it's interesting because after this week, we have about 5 weeks of female Thais coming on, or females that are in Thai coming on the show. So I kind of feel like if you want to come on, you got to be female. So Greenie, if you want to come back, we got to have Fi come on. She's great. I'd love to have her on, man. I watch all her videos. I think she's awesome. Such a great personality. Got to have her on. And Ollie Brown had some great things to say about her as well. I guess they made up a couple of days ago. So yeah, it'd be great to have them on.
Seems really nice.
Yeah. Well, what do you do
like
for
the
social?
Sun, though. The last video, she didn't want to get out of the car and go to that temple.
Oh, because of the sun. Yeah. Well, got to take care of your skin, man. See, us Westerners are always like out in the sun, no big deal, right? So it's different. Nice.
You mentioned the racing. Have you ever been to Singapore and seen the F1?
Oh man, that would be great.
Sorry,
because they do that at night. So before the whole situation came down last year, I had it planned out. I was going to go to, I forget the country. I think it was Austria. I was going to watch a week in Austria. Then I had a kickoff for my work that was going to be in Berlin. So then I was going to fly to Berlin, do that kickoff thing. And then the UK was having their Formula One GP the following week. So I was going to get to see 2 in foreign countries. I was so excited. And then this whole situation happened. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to do. And then Vietnam, the Vietnam Formula One was on the calendar last year and got taken off. And I don't think it's being put back on because of what they're calling corruption issues.
I had a friend in Bangkok that got 2 tickets and his girlfriend got sick and he said, hey, come on, let's go. So the only thing I had to pay for was the airfare. I got the hotel, the ticket, all the VIP meals because he had backstage passes kind of thing.
Yeah. So you went to the Singapore Grand Prix?
I went to the Singapore F1 finals, not the Grand Prix, but the finals.
Oh,
and
wow.
I didn't have a camera or nothing, so you guys don't ask. I don't have any video.
What year was that? Was that last year?
No, this was a long time ago. Long time ago when I was still living in Bangkok. So probably 8-9 years ago.
Okay. Wow, you might have actually been able to hear the actual normally aspirated or the F1s then, because now they've kind of gone to that hybrid model where the engine sounds a lot different. Big Fat Bestie told me, like, man, he longs for the days when Formula One used to sound like Formula One. Now it's just a different high-pitched sound. It's different than it was back in the day. So
I've only seen it live one time in Singapore, and then on TV and what have you. So it's different if you're not live, but I don't know if it's any higher pitch actually now or not. But it was awesome. It was something that I would recommend anybody doing. Of course, I was right there. I mean, it was like second row to the pits.
Oh wow, that's great.
I wasn't up in the nosebleeds or nothing. This guy got some kind of pass. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it's probably a pit pass or a paddock pass, something like that.
But we weren't in the pits. We tried to get in the pits, so it wasn't a pit pass. But they had a whole spread of food for all the drivers and all the crew and everything, and we were allowed to have that. So he had some kind of special thing. I don't know what it was.
Sorry, CJ. I'm gonna be a bad host. I'm so curious about this. 7,000 subscribers. How are we doing, guys? Anyone do a test or a check on the 7,000? It's been slow going lately. Looks like it's about the same. About the same. I wanted to have that like celebratory lunch and drinks with Mom later today. We're still sitting about the same. Well, sometimes it's delayed, the sub count. We never know. And I feel like everyone that watches the show is already a subscriber anyways. So I have to put my trust in YouTube. They may recommend one of my videos or this show, and someone says, hey, that's not bad. I'll subscribe. I think that's all you're looking for is, that's not bad. I'll subscribe. As long as you're not bad, I think people are going to subscribe to the channel.
I'm getting unsubscribers right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's that video I put up on that temple. It's a little shaky because I didn't have my gimbal. Had comments already about that.
Yeah, I mean, so that's one of those things. I can tell you, like, when you have fewer subs, you notice every single one that goes. So, like, to your point, like, you're like, oh, what's going on? I lost 2 or I lost 3. And you know what YouTube does? And I'm not an expert in YouTube, but supposedly this is the deal. They're looking for active subscribers. So I think where it's going to get me eventually is I started my channel with recorded videos. The live shows started later. So basically, I got a lot of subs from my recorded videos, the Reshard Returns to Thailand series, and those subs may not like my live shows. I do see in the analytics, they don't really cross-mingle so much. I'm trying to kind of facilitate the happen more, but yeah, so my concern is, like, since I haven't made a recorded video in such a long time, they may not be considered active subs, and I may get those taken off after a while. So I have a 6-pack of beer in the fridge for that moment if it ever happens, but I think I'll be okay. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing for you, CJ, is I love your channel. You have great videos on there. I think it's very different too. Like, you have a lot of news videos where you're giving us, like, this is what's going on, this is what I'm hearing, which is usually very accurate. If there's a mistake there, you'll say it.
I just put it up there because I've noticed, like, on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram, people are asking. And it's not like I wanted to do it, but I just thought it would be a good insight. And I wait to make sure that the news is as best as it is going to be before I post it. I mean, there's a couple of people that just post it right away. That last one that I posted with all the quarantine through the video, I posted that and then everything changed so quick. Now it's getting all locked down. I'm saying that, everybody's going to be able to come. They're changing it to 7 days, and Phuket's going to get opened up. They're going to get all their vaccines. They want 70% vaccinated here in Thailand, and then everything's going to be fine. And all of a sudden, they've got a new outbreak in Tung Lo, and it's
Well, I got to tell you. So I feel like so this might not sound right when I first say it, but it'll make sense once I finish it up. So I feel like Thailand is more lax than the rest of the world, and what I mean by that is, saying that now sounds crazy because you're in this restriction type time in Thailand. However, I'll tell you this, like, when I first came in February of 2020, when the situation was starting to take off, first of all, my family in America thought I was nuts for traveling. That was in February, before it kind of got crazy. They thought I was nuts. People were starting to wear a mask in America. I got to Thailand, nobody wearing a mask, not a big deal. I came back then, of course, to our lockdown here in America, and I've seen Thailand be kind of spotty with the mask wearing, but what I can tell you why this makes sense is, now that people are getting vaccinated here in America, especially in the city, I'm seeing more people walk around without masks on, more hugging, talking. there seems to be less nervousness. And I feel like once Thailand starts to roll out the jab a little bit, you'll see more of that and things will sort of turn around. That's my hope, CJ, because I'm targeting November to get back out there. It seems like forever from now, but I feel like that could happen as long as things kind of get a handle on it. Do you think that's like a realistic date for some of us to keep in mind?
If they're saying that they want to have like the tourist destinations like Phuket and Koh Samui, and they mentioned Pattaya, but not very much. They want to have the tourist areas like 70% vaccinated. The people, the Thai people, not necessarily the tourists, but the tourist destinations, they want to have it like 70% vaccinated. And then that's when they were going to open it up. Now, whether if they can get that 70% threshold or not, that's the question. They're rolling it out, but they're rolling it out really slow.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be more of a sense of urgency to get that out. Maggie's Journey came to say hi before bedtime, so I was actually on Maggie's Journey live stream just before this show, checking it out. Yeah. So she was having a great live stream. Go check that out on the replay, guys. That was pretty awesome. She was having a great time. Love watching Maggie's live shows. I would definitely say consider subscribing to the channel. She's got a lot of great videos. And Nakhon Ratchasima, I believe, is where she's located. And Maggie's probably shaking her head like that was not even close, Richard. But
just say Chiang Mai, Richard.
Yeah, I even say that wrong. Yeah, I know, because I know it should be like Chiang Mai. You got to like roll it. Oh my gosh, I've been out of Thailand too long. It's like I'm mispronouncing everything left and right. Next to go will be Pattaya. I'll start saying it like Pattaya or something, and I'll lose that whole way. I don't know.
Who is it? Kicks for Rides just says it however he wants every time. It's always different.
Yeah, I think so. Lucas does a great job because he doesn't really give a crap. He just says it the way he wants to say it.
He just says it the way, and he admits it. He admits it all the time. He says, "Well, we're in Pattaya, we're in Pattaya, we're in Pattaya, blah blah blah." He rolls it off his tongue. He doesn't even really care.
Yeah. So Chocolate Man in Thailand saying his lives never do as well as recorded material, but they're so easy and fun. Gonna keep doing it. Yeah, I feel like what I like about it, James, is just the community and the chat. I like watching back the replays and seeing all the funny chat messages going back and forth because I can't see everything as I'm talking to CJ, but yeah, it's pretty funny. And then I like to see, the moderators. Sometimes I'll hear from my mom, like, hey, those moderators are really busy today. They removed a lot of comments. So I like to kind of find out after the show, like what was going on, all the drama and stuff like that. They're so good at keeping me like away from the drama. So I just got to tell you, if you have a channel, get some good mods like I have. I have the best mods in all of YouTube, I feel like. So that makes my life a lot easier. You watch Maggie's Journey at all, CJ? You check out her channel?
I do, yeah. I've watched it, yeah. I like watching different areas of. I try and look at it a little different because of the fact that I live here. So I watch the other channels and kind of look at the environment and what the people see in their eyes. Not necessarily specifically about what their channel is, but I like to go and watch and see the different areas in Thailand and stuff like that. She's got a lot of good information though. She's on top of all the visa information. I put my hat off to her.
I always tell Maggie one of my favorite parts of one of her videos. She did a live stream where she went outside, and she's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. She's still listening. Is she saw two chickens that were fighting. And she literally came over and put like a cage over one of the chickens and then put like a piece of paper in front. She said, now they won't fight anymore. And I asked her months later, like, hey, so whatever happened to those chickens? And she said, well, they made for a great dinner. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I forget, like that's food. But that was a funny video. She does lots of things like that would just make me laugh, walking around doing crazy stuff that, she probably thinks is just like normal everyday life, but we're cracking up thinking it's hilarious. So yeah,
I was served in some soup. They put chicken feet in my soup the other day.
Oh, nice. Was that extra cost?
I couldn't eat it. I couldn't eat it.
Yeah,
it was an off the beaten path. I was up in the hills and I gotten hungry, so I stopped at this little mom and pop noodle shop and just said, "Can I have some noodles?" And they served me some noodles, and I started stirring it up, and there's this chicken foot in it. And I'm all, okay, I've had enough. Thank you very much. Drank the water, paid for it. I couldn't eat it. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't eat it.
Well, of all the things that could land in your noodles, I think that's probably one of the better things. So
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Chocolate Man saying thumbs up will help too. 62 watching, only 28 thumbs up. So that's my other bone to pick, CJ. I don't know if you've seen this lately. This just happened like the last week. So there's some new algorithm with thumbs ups. I feel like if you're on a live show like this, everyone hits thumbs up at once, that YouTube says, those are not real likes. We're going to take a look at those, take some away. So my live show with Nick last week, almost 10,000 views. I had like 100 thumbs up for most of the week. Then all of a sudden it went up to like 200. But I was just trying to make sense of it. Like, what's going on? I messaged Nick and Martin. They're like, yeah, we're kind of seeing the same thing. It's like, I just don't understand it, man. And thumbs up really is helpful for driving the algorithm. Like, hey, people like this video. They're engaged. But
they're engaged. They watch it longer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what Big Brother is doing there to us, but I'm going to figure it out one of these days. Nice. So tell us, CJ, what's a day in the life like for you? You know, you get up in the morning, you're an early riser, you kind of go out. Do you hit the bars at all during the day?
No, I don't drink. I used to back in the States. I drank a little bit in Japan, but when I bought a motorcycle, I just said, I'm not going to drink. There's no protection, and way that everybody drives in Thailand, they're just like, you know, I mean, you've been here, you know what I'm talking about. I don't have to say anything. So I just decided I'm not going to drink. I'll have a beer once in a while, but it's here where I live. I'll have a beer down like at the pool or something like that, but I don't go out and drink. I don't do it.
Yeah, I feel like that's being super responsible. And I got to tell you, that's why a lot of people tell me when I come to Thailand, like I should rent a motorbike for the month if I'm there. But I got to tell you, what first thing is, I just don't want to have to put up the hassle of being pulled over by the police. I know they're very polite to Farongs. They're just making sure you have the correct ID, international driver's license, insurance, that kind of stuff. But to your point, I actually do like to drink at the bars. And I know if it's sort of like an unwritten rule. Hey, if you can walk, you can drive. It's okay. They're not going to give you a problem. But I just feel like it's out of respect for Thailand. I wouldn't want to do that. So I always just don't rent. I'll just take motorbike taxis everywhere. So that's kind of how I do. And it costs money. It adds up.
Gone down a couple of times. When I posted that Wonderland video, I went down and I had one beer and I was on my motorcycle. Granted, I only live, and I shouldn't say this, but I live like 5 minutes away from there up on the hill. But I still shouldn't have driven the bike, but I did. But normally, 99% of the time, I don't drink.
Did you go to the temple there to make up for that lack of judgment?
No.
Make amends at the temple.
I crashed twice in the States when I lived in the States. When I lived in Hawaii, I crashed twice on my big motorcycle. I had a 650. And then in Ko Chang, I was on a little teeny scooter. I'll never rent another little teeny scooter. I crashed on that.
Oh, yeah. You would think almost like having a smaller scooter would be nice to kind of go in and out of the traffic, but I guess it can be too nimble sometimes. Yeah.
You get used to a big bike. You know how it handles. I mean, if you lean on a little bike, it's going to fall over.
Yeah.
There's no centrifugal force at all.
So Sean Collins had a question for you. You know, he understands the car scene is pretty great in Thailand. Are you exposed to any of that, CJ, over in Hua Hin, the car scene? You know, like
there's not a whole lot there. He's talking about car shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe just more customized cars, you know, cool cars driving around.
There's a few. They'll have once a year, they'll have an old car show, and then they'll have a race car, sporty, old school kind of car show. But that's about it. If you want to see car shows, you've got to go to Bangkok.
Okay. And Carl's Thailand was saying that he's seen the Forza, great compromise between big bike power and scooter ease of riding. He said he wouldn't hesitate to use the PCX long distance too, though. So where does your scooter kind of sit in those couple ones that he wrote there?
It's a 250 CBR. It's a smaller 250. I'm sorry. It's a smaller bike as far as a real motorcycle goes, but it's not a PCX. These two bikes that he's talking about are quote unquote scooters still yet.
Okay. Yeah. So you have more of a motorcycle.
An actual motorcycle because I've got a clutch and I have to shift it all the time. So
interesting. And you feel like that's still okay to get around town on. Usually the motorcycles are a little too large, huh?
It's small. It's about the same size as a PCX or even the Faza.
Oh.
I mean, a Foreigner Joe just got the, I think it was the 350, and he can scoot around on that. My bike's probably the same size as that.
Yeah, I feel like 350 is good power. I mean, I'm assuming the 250 probably will do 100 kilometers an hour easy.
Oh, yeah. When I was down south, I was going 100. I think I topped it out about 155.
Yeah. Wow. So are you pretty comfortable on the freeway then at freeway speed? Yeah.
I drove. I had a motorcycle. I had a motorcycle back in America as well, so I'm fine.
Oh, okay. See, I have not. I've only done scooters, and that was a number of years ago. As much fun as it looks like, I do see that they're cracking down on the helmets now a lot more. They're saying like basically you get on a motorbike with a helmet, which I got to tell you, if you're one of those guys like me that goes on the motorbike taxi, you're going to hate this because usually in Pattaya, you can kind of like go on a motorbike without a helmet if you don't want to. The guy will tell you when they're coming up on one of those enforcement centers, you put one on real quick. But the reason I don't like it usually is not that I'm all, about vanity or anything about messing up my hair. It's more around the helmets never fit. Everyone's had to put on one of those Hello Kitty helmets where it's like 5 sizes too small, kind of sits on the top.
Like a baseball helmet.
Yeah, I feel like those helmets would do more harm than good. They would probably choke you or decapitate you if you fell. So
they're plastic. Plastic. They're not going to stay on. If I don't want anybody to fall, but if you fall, that helmet's not going to do anything. I wear a full-faced helmet all the time. And everybody over here says, why you wear that? Why you wear that? And I said, I'm safe. I don't want to be sorry.
Yeah, and I see that comes up a lot. People, expats that have been in Thailand long enough, they know like it's just that's a numbers game. Eventually your number is going to come up. You're going to have an accident. Talk to CJ, same, but different. He had a pretty horrific motorbike accident in Pattaya where he's hit by a car. Not his fault at all. He was just chilling out, got hit, and really did some damage to both his motorbike and him. So yeah, to your point, I feel like it's interesting that they don't have more real motorbike helmets available. Maybe that's the next thing to come. Maybe that's the next crackdown is for these motorbike taxis to say you have to have an actual helmet.
They have them.
Yeah,
they have them. They're just, you can walk into Tesco Lotus and buy a cheap quote unquote baseball helmet for a couple $100, or you can go down the street, go to a real motorcycle shop and get a real helmet for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, whatever you want to spend. Sky's the limit on a helmet.
Cheap Charlie Chronicles saying $2 helmets. I'm assuming that's probably what they pay for them, right? Real cheap. So yeah, I feel like the only thing that's going to really save you from is maybe abrasions. So you're not like doing an abrasion on your head when you fall. But I don't know if it's going to actually protect you from impact. So yeah, would like to see them change that because not only are they way too small, they look crazy. They should be like more normal helmets that should be larger size and somehow maybe adjustable would be nice. I'm sure they make those that are somewhat adjustable.
They're available over here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too bad because I feel like when I get back, I think that it's really going to be the thing now. I think that you're going to have to wear a motorbike helmet when you get on a motorbike taxi. I think it's just been one of those things. It's an easy way for them to make money. When I've taken my chances and told the motorbike taxi, like, hey, listen, I'm not going to wear a helmet today just because it's a nice day, that kind of stuff. It's not a good decision on my part. So you can blow me up in the chat saying how stupid I am. But I always tell the motorbike taxi, if we get pulled over, I'll pay the fine. Because usually it's not just me that's getting fined, it's the taxi driver. So I've never had to do that, but I've always felt like if that did come down, I should at least offer to pay.
Before you get on the bike, do you knock on wood?
Well, no. You think I'm taking that much of a chance on CJ? Oh my gosh. Mr. Mitch is saying, for me, it feels safer in Thailand to ride a motorcycle. In the States, you sometimes invisible to car drivers. In Thailand, motorcycles are everywhere all the time. How do you kind of feel that's the same way for you?
Yeah, I feel safer here driving because of the fact that there are so many of them. And the Thais, they're wonderful people, but they just drive. And if you follow their lead, you're fine. I'm not saying run the red light that they're running, but when they start pulling out the intersection, they know when to pull out. They've had the experience. They've lived here their entire life. I mean, I see kids that are 8 years old buzzing around on these scooters. So they're growing up riding these things. So when they get to an adult age, they know what they're doing. So a lot of times when I start getting into a crowded area, I'll pull up in white line, and you're not supposed to, but I will do it. And I'll get up with the other motorcycles, and then I'll go across the intersections. So,
Wow.
you got to follow what they do. They know what they're doing. So I feel much safer driving here than I did back in the States. But I only drove in Hawaii, so there wasn't a whole lot of traffic except Waikiki area.
Martin was saying he would go for a manual gear bike rather than auto. You kind of feel the same way, CJ? Better to have the manual gear?
I like it because you have more control. If you get into a situation where you think you're going to get an accident, if you have no maneuverability, you can't just grab the brakes. You can downshift it, and it'll slow the bike down. You can upshift it and crack the throttle and get away from something if you need to. So yeah, you have a lot more control.
Escape SJC is saying, just have a Thai girlfriend that drives. I think Greenie Travel's girlfriend drives. I don't know if she has her own car, if that's Greenie's, but that's definitely a nice way to go too. Robert Mack saying, please subscribe to Richard Travel. I think I'm getting closer, guys. I think I gained a couple of subs, which is always nice. I think I'm at 6,986. 14 away. I think it'll happen overnight magically. Just going to go with the flow. For me, 7,000 is kind of a big number. So I know there's a lot of YouTube channels that I follow that are about that level. So I always think like, wow, 7,000, that's a lot of people following. So yeah, would be great. Would be great. Let's say stuck in Florida, Maggie's Journey. Hello. Yes, it matters. If you have the jab and get it, you won't get very sick. It's not that easy to explain in the chat. So basically what he's saying is, if you do get the jab, it's 90% effective. If you're one of those 10% that actually gets it, they're saying that it's just like a common cold. It's not, you're not going to be in the hospital with it. I'm not a doctor, just play one on YouTube, but I feel like that's probably a true statement, stuck in Florida. So I am wearing it.
My uncle got the jab, and he just said that he was kind of felt like maybe a little bit of flu symptoms. His wife didn't feel anything at all. So
yeah, it's interesting.
It all depends on your system.
What are you hearing from the Thai people? Are they a little scared of the jab, or just kind of like they're waiting to get it and they'll get it?
It's kind of going both ways. A lot of the expats are saying, that they're not going to get it. Granted, it hasn't been put out there yet that Thailand's going to subsidize for the expats or not. And they're saying that some of the foreign hospitals are thinking about buying the jab from other countries and then go ahead and sell it that way. But the foreigners they're a little bit more leery about getting it in Thailand, I think, than the Thais actually are.
Yeah, I wonder if is there any talk of
the same thing.
Is there any talk of maybe some of the expats going back to their home country to get the jab and then coming back?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah. What do you think you'll do?
If it comes right down to it, I'll probably jump back and then wait for a while and then come back in and start all over. I mean, I've got contacts, and I know other things that some people don't know because I've been living there for, like going on 10 years. So I might, if it comes right down to it, I might go back and get it. If they mandate it, if they say that there was talk one time I saw in a news flash that they said that they're going to have the expats have it in order to stay long term, for visa or for whatever kind of visa you have, however you're living in Thailand, whatever. I know we're not supposed to talk about that, so I'm not going to say nothing, but they're putting it out there that they're thinking about having all the expats that live in Thailand as an expat, that they're going to put it as a requirement. That's just, it's just talk. I don't know, guys, it's just talk. Don't quote me on anything.
Yeah, don't worry about the wording. We say what we say. We try to be mindful of things that we can say and can't say. But I'll tell you, CJ, just about every live show I do is demonetized. So, in fact, Carl's Travel is in here. So Carl's live stream got demonetized, and we're just two guys talking about traveling around Thailand, going to parks and stuff. So, it's just horrible. So, not making any money off this. It's okay. It's a public service that I do every Saturday. And I love doing the dancing videos.
Sorry.
So, no, it's okay. It's not you. Obviously, it's probably me. I'm the common denominator with each live show. Maybe I should, stop cursing or something. Maybe I'm swearing too much. I don't know, man. I can't figure it out. I'm always surprised.
There you go, Chocolate.
Yeah, Chocolate Man's right on form. He just wants to get on with life. And I feel like that's what I'm seeing here in San Francisco is now that people that are getting that solution to the problem is that people are starting to go back to life. I was walking around the city last night and I was feeling less leery. I've talked about this on previous shows that I have not been vlogging outside because it's actually quite dangerous. It's a huge homeless population outside there. We have a problem with the drug addicts out there and stuff. It's just not good. I was attacked once when I did a live show about 6 months ago outside. That was not good. Did not end well for him. You have a taser, it can be over pretty quickly. But moving forward, there are more people on the streets, so that makes it safer to walk around. The homeless people and the rough people tend to kind of go back into the wings. So I'm looking forward to maybe getting out and doing some walk and talks a little more out in San Francisco and showing the city trying to come alive. Because I think most people are getting vaccinated. Now here in San Francisco, they opened it up to where anyone 16 and over can get it. So initially I was not happy with that because I had not gotten mine yet. But then once I got my first one, I was like, okay, let's open it up. And I think it's going to be good. I think people
open it up after
will come alive.
Yeah.
I was
they're
concerned
they're opening up in a lot of states now from what I've been reading.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be, you got to be diligent and get that appointment going. So funny. And Mike Hill saying, maybe it's my shirt. It's shirts. Yeah, because I do wear some controversial shirts. I actually have one that says all my favorite channels have been demonetized. I was going to wear that today, but I did not. I'll put that in the rotation later on. So
here's a question for everybody out there. Once you get your first vaccination, your jab, whatever you want to call it, then it's automatically you get the second one?
Yeah. So when I got mine, they told me when you are done sitting there for 10 minutes to make sure you don't die, go over here and they will give you your card and they sign you up for your next appointment. So it's like written in stone. So that's the nice thing. The downside of that is some people in America are traveling like 60, 100 miles to get theirs, which means they have to come back to the same location to get it. For me, I got mine in San Francisco, so it's great. May 5th, I go back and get the second one. And I'm actually planning, just so you guys don't think I'm crazy, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to probably take 2 days off from work after I get that second jab, because I don't know what's going to happen, man. I've heard differing stories on that. It'll put you on your butt or it's just fine. I don't know.
They say that the second one's worse than the first one, but who knows? Again, it's all about your system.
Yeah. Daystate Fox, thank you. Canceling out the demonetization super chat. Thank you, man. That's awesome. That's about what I used to make on the shows before they got demonetized. So
very nice
so
of you
funny.
there, Daystate.
Yeah, I mean, think about I feel like I have a family-friendly show for the most part. It's so weird for mine to be demonetized week after week after week. I think there is one in the last 2 months that was not demonetized. So, hey, it is what it is, man. I enjoy doing the shows because I got a regular job during the week, so not a big deal. But thank you, Daystate Fox. Appreciate that. Made my day. I feel like that's a vote of confidence for the show today. People are having a good time. Let's see. Yeah, 3 weeks later, you get the second one if it's Pfizer, which is what I got. So I got that one, and I was almost doing cartwheels at the immunization site. I was pulling for that one. Please, please let me get that one. So, everyone has their favorites, right? Do you have a favorite you would want to get, CJ?
At first, I was when Johnson & Johnson came out, I was thinking, hey, that's a one-time deal. You just go for that. And then now they're coming out saying that they're going to take it off the market because of this blood clot deal and so forth and so on. So I'm thinking, okay, well, either Moderna or Pfizer. It seems like they're kind of right in there together. One's 80%, one's 90%.
Yeah. Well, my sister got the J&J. And she was really sticking it to me because she got hers before I could even get an appointment. So she gave me a picture of her in her car with her card. Hey, we just got it, the J&J. Look at us, really sticking it to me. And then 2 days later, it got pulled from the market. And she was very sick for 2 days. It really hit her hard. So for 2 days, she was not well. But then 2 days later, I got mine. So
I've seen some other people post their card on Facebook, and then they said that they got really sick, and now they're off the market.
It's like karma or something. I don't know. But I will tell you, some of those cards I've seen are quite large. I was lucky, mine's very small. Mine will fit in my passport card holder. So
my mother got one, and she said it was, I don't know, probably the size of double size of a credit card.
Yeah.
So that's not going to fit in any passport. I mean, you could put it in, maybe put it in a booklet or something like that. But
Martin saying the monetization flies away when Nick talks about the situation and rants. He had a good one too. So Martin IM'd me like, hey, did you watch all the members only chat? And I, at that point, I only watched about an hour of it, but I've watched just about all of it now. And yeah, I'll tell you, good for Nick, man, for getting some stuff off his chest. If you guys are members of the NDTVI show, I'd say go back and watch that members only chat, because you know it's just kind of cool to see Nick kind of venting a little bit, and he had some things to get off his chest. So I thought that was pretty good. Robert Mack saying he got the Pfizer. All right, and Daystay Fox got AZ, and next one in June. Wow, so they kind of spaced that far out.
that's far away.
Yeah, you would think you'd get it more recent. We will be stuck in AZ with AZ in Thailand. Ooh. Yeah, I've not heard good things about that one, Greenie. So, but you know, you got to get something, man. I just think it's all about, so a lot of places here in San Francisco have these immunization cocktails. They'll actually give you an injection of like vitamins and stuff before you get your vaccine. And I don't know if that's any good or not, but there's a lot of those pop-ups around here that do that. So interesting. Maybe just take some extra vitamin C.
I'm not sure which one it is, but Thailand's going to start, if they haven't already started manufacturing one over here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It'll probably come in a Red Bull can or something.
It's a drinkable one, huh?
Yeah. So this is interesting. This is something I saw on Edward Sweeney's live stream. So in the UK, it's 13 weeks between. And I really find that interesting. So they're definitely doing it different, right? So I know that Ed, now I know why Ed was talking about that, because he had his first and he had to wait so long before he got his second. That's a long time, right? That's almost 4 months.
The States, it's what, like 4 weeks or something like that, right?
Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks. Like I just had mine, and my next one is May 5th. So coming up soon, which is good, which is maybe why some people have that adverse reaction on the second. Maybe it is too close together. Maybe you should do it more. I don't know.
Out of your body or spreading around, whatever. You know.
The only thing I noticed is I had a little bit of a sore throat for about a day. I did feel a little feverish. I just went to bed early, and it seemed like it was all okay in the morning.
Well, I've only known 2 people to get it. And that was my uncle and my mom, and neither one of them had any side effects at all. So
yeah, and it's interesting. Robert Mack raises one, like he really thinks that they're going to need a booster by October, November. I do feel like it's going to be just like the flu shot, where every year we got to get one. But my concern is, to Robert's point, we have to do it more often than every year, and that's where it's going to be a hassle. But I got to tell you, if I have a good experience on my first set of jabs, then having a second round probably isn't a big deal. It's just more of an inconvenience, I think, than anything. But if it opens up the fact that you're traveling, that's great. But I almost feel like you'd have to then kind of plan out your travel based on when you got your second jab. So if you're going October and you're due in November, then maybe you can't travel. You got to go and get your dose before then. And then are you eligible, right? Are you too early? So I hope that's not the case, because that would be a lot of coordination.
they said that once you get the jab, you have to travel here to Thailand. You have to travel within 90 days.
Yeah, I think they dropped that though recently. I think that kind of went away.
I don't know.
I think that went away.
I know they said it at one point in time.
Yeah, that stuff could come back, go away. Who knows? Awesome. Great. Well, CJ, I really appreciate our time today on the show, man. We talked about a wide array of topics. I really always appreciate our conversation.
This time,
yeah, it was good, man. Definitely appreciate you coming on the live show. You're welcome back anytime.
Well, thank you.
Any parting words? I feel like last time when you gave your goodbye to everyone, I actually talked over you. I was so mad at myself because I went to use that in your vlogger profile a couple weeks ago, and I was kicking myself because I was talking when you were talking. So I'm going to give you the mic. Anything you want to say as you kind of wrap up?
No, you were fine. I just, I do my videos to try and put information out there, like Richard was saying about the news and all that. I mean, it might not be top quality, but I try and get the information out to you all as best I can. And I've watched other channels do the news, and mine is like sit down and okay, this is what's going on. Where a lot of other people do the news and they're joking around and stuff like that. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's my style. Who knows? But anyway, I hope that you guys all get back over here, whether it be the end of 2021 or the early part of 2022. Stay safe. Be happy in your paradise.
Thank you very much, CJ.
Yeah.
Hope to talk to you soon.
All right.
I want to thank you very much for having me. Everybody, take it easy, be safe, be happy in your paradise.
Great interview with CJ. Always love having him come on the show. He's just got a chill attitude. I really love that. And, American living in Hua Hin, Thailand during a tough situation with the new restrictions. So he's getting through it. I definitely think that he sees the light at the end of the tunnel. So good for him for having such a great attitude, positive outlook. I would say consider going to his channel, subscribing. He's looking to monetize at some point. He wants to get over that 1,000 subscribers, and he's sitting right under 600. So I feel like if a couple of us went there and subscribed, I'm already subscribed myself, but if you are not, go there. What's nice is YouTube notices that kind of stuff. It'll notice, hey, we just had 10 people that just all of a sudden subscribe to this channel. Maybe we should recommend a couple of these videos. And that's all CJ's looking for, is get an audience. I really feel like if people are exposed to his videos, they'll hit that subscribe button. He'll be over 1,000 subscribers before we know it. But I'm very passionate about promoting CJ Paradise because I love his videos. He's a great guy. And, we just had him on for a second visit. We'll have him back again as well. Did want to let you know we're kind of come up to the intermission time here. So I got a video for you for the intermission. I'm going to play this for you. Then we'll kind of come back. We'll talk about some of the chats that are coming in there. We'll address that, and then we'll wrap things up. Enjoy this video.
Access granted.
I once read, if your world doesn't allow you to dream, travel to one where you can. Why is it important to dream? Well, I believe this mostly speaks to hope. And as the great philosopher Andy Dufresne said while in Shawshank Prison, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and good things never die. In this city, there is plenty of hope to go around, as long as there is money in your wallet. After a night of drinking, I'm in need of some food. Let's find a fun place to eat. The restaurant Hooters has made significant improvements since its opening in 2016. In 2016, the cost of a meal with drinks was triple the price of what you would see from restaurants like Beer Garden or The Kitchen. Today, prices are in line with the other restaurants in the area, and the staff is very friendly. Overall, it's a fun place to spend an hour or two. Make sure you stay for the dancing. Those who have never traveled to Pattaya are quick to negatively judge those of us who have. I have encountered this with some of my own family members, individuals that used to be close to me becoming physically uncomfortable when I talk about this city. To those I say, don't judge my path if you have not walked my journey. My journey to Thailand began in 2015. That first trip changed my life and provided me with the much needed hope to continue in my life when I thought there was no life to live. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked that video this week. A little more serious tone toward the end there, but that's from the vault. Those are not on YouTube. Those are ones that were previously on YouTube, but got taken down, and they now exist in my vault. And I play little parts of them here and there. So I apologize for the splicing in between some of those scenes. It's part of a larger video. I kind of just put in my favorite parts there at the end. And it was really important for me to let people know that, like, if you do come to Pattaya, you're going to be judged negatively by most people when you come back to your home country. That's something that I found out pretty quickly. You know, I've been to Pattaya 26 times over the course of 6 years, and I've really battled with that. Close friends of mine treat me differently. Family members, I'm not really allowed to talk about Thailand in front of them. So just realize that, you know, their opinions are not worth my time. I'm going to live my dream. And hopefully you guys agree with that it's more important to live your dream than worry about what other people think. So the great thing is I have, you know, a great mother that supports my, you know, trips to Thailand and supports my idea of retiring in Thailand. And that's important for me. I think one thing that she's seen, you know, she's a huge YouTube fan now. She's seen all the videos, like from Chocolate Man in Thailand. She watches those Thai Girl Gift and Foreigner Joe Rides for Kicks and DTV. Yeah, she watches all these videos and she sees, so Pattaya is not what people say it is. There's actually so much more to do. And it's kind of part of the reason why I started the whole Richard Returns of Thailand video series, because I really felt a passion to tell people that there's more to do than just the nightlife. And I think James, Chocolate Man in Thailand, does an excellent job of that, profiling what to do around Pattaya. And it's okay to say that you go to Pattaya to retire. Look at Greenie Travels. He's living in Pattaya, got a great girlfriend there. He's doing all kinds of daytime activities. So shame on those people that tend to put a judgment on us and say that we're bad for going to Pattaya or retiring there. I really feel that they're just not very smart people for making those judgments. So I'll get off my high horse, go down a little bit, but that's one of my favorite videos. It's too bad I had to take that down. So those are kind of my statements. And Be More Ron says, live your life, Reshare. Love the channel. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And I've always been passionate about Pattaya and all things Pattaya, businesses, local businesses. I'll always support them and promote them. I'll always try to promote other vloggers that are promoting Pattaya as well. It's always been a passion of mine. And I'll go to my grave telling you that, like, there's more than the nightlife there. My great friend, Rockman, who leads most of the boat tours out of Pattaya, sort of fell on hard times with this whole, worldwide situation, but I will still seek him out and, partake in his services when I go back there. It's not the fanciest boat in the world, guys. We're not talking about a huge yacht or anything like that, but Rockman's Thai. He's got a great wife. He's treated me with respect, and he'll take me out. We'll fry chicken. We'll barbecue chicken on the beach on Koh Pai and have a good time, hang out, drink a beer. That's like living the Thai life. I love that. So I'll always support those businesses. And Thailand Backpacker says, if you traveled all over Thailand, Pattaya beaches are very subpar. They are. So Pattaya beaches are not, you don't really go there for the beach. All the boat tours leave there. So I would say the beaches just off the coast of Pattaya, like Koh Pai, and then you have Koh Larn, which is nice and when it's in the downtime. But my favorite island there is Koh Pai, Bamboo Island. So it's about a 30-minute ride via, powerboat out to that island. It's got great beaches, and there's about 4 different ones that you can circle around and go to. So that's great. Monkey Island is cool if you want to check out some monkeys, feed the monkeys. I would say you have to bring more than just a couple bananas if you want to go to Monkey Island. When I went there with Rockman, we brought 100 kilos of fruit. That was bananas and all this other stuff. And we use that to feed the monkeys, because you're going there to feed a whole civilization of monkeys. You got to bring a lot with you. And let's see, can't wait to grab a night out, beer, Richard Travels. Oh, thanks, Martin. I appreciate that. Looking forward to the same, man. Looking forward to the same. We had some great conversations, so I'm looking forward to doing that in real life. Robert McInasia says, Thailand and Thai people are great. So much respect. That's exactly it. And that's Carlos Thailand says, yes, this show is a great staging post for new vloggers. And it really is. So I'm really excited about the vloggers that I have coming up. We had mentioned we have 2 Passports, 1 Dream coming up next week. Adriana and Dylan, they are just great. They're going to be a wonderful interview. I was actually referred to them by She's Wonder Flo, another great up and comer that we had on our show. So, Flora and Notes from She's Wonder Flo is a great channel as well. We have a number of different channels coming up in the future. Chev and Dev is another great channel as well. It's really on the cusp of just blowing up, taking off. These are all channels that are producing quality videos. So what I'm always looking for is, I don't really worry about the sub count. I look for a video that is interesting to me and tells me something I didn't already know. So I think that, Chev and Dev are doing a great job of that. 2 Passports, 1 Dream, prime example of that as well. So definitely excited about that. Cheap Charlie Chronicles, thank you for the thumbs up that I did not hit. There we go. Appreciate that. And Cheap Charlie is a fan of the channel. So I know he's been getting a little harassed on his live shows about, hey, you should go on Richard Travel. So just so you know, Cheap Charlie and I have had a conversation. He's a perfect gentleman. We've decided at this point in time, probably not the best thing to do for the channel. But I want to tell you, he's definitely very mindful of not just coming on the show, but what happens from his appearance on the show. So that's, if you can kind of read between the lines, he's just such a nice guy. We've exchanged a number of great emails, and then in the chats of his channel. So great channel. I would say if you're not familiar with Cheap Charlie Chronicles, go there. He does live streams, Cheap Charlie Live as well. But friend of the channel, I'm a friend of his channel. And when the time is right, somewhere down the road, we'll make that happen. It may actually end up being when we're both back in Pattaya. Maybe a little easier time then. So yeah, appreciate that. And Martin says, I'm going to have to choose the bars wisely, so it's a night we won't forget. That's right. And it's so funny because when I was on Nick's show, I mentioned, hey, so one of my favorite bars that I would be really upset if it closed was Lucifer on Walking Street. And I think he was surprised to hear that. But I love music. So I love going to Lucifer about midnight and listening to all that music. It's high energy. That's one thing that allows me to stay out till 5 a.m. is you can't be tired in that disco with with all that music going on. So, and Dave Fox is saying, am I invited? Yes, you are. Of course you're invited, Dave. You go anywhere you want to. Mr. Mitch is putting up the, Mr. Mitch was putting up the link for 2 Passports, 1 Dream. I would say definitely check out some of those videos ahead of time, because they have a bunch of great videos they're doing where they're profiling different tiers of budgets for different hotels in Chiang Mai. And the one that I watched recently was like a 50 pounds limit. And it's kind of funny. The hotel was right across the street from their condo. So that was kind of cool. They could actually see their condo from where they were staying, but really nice place. So I'm going to kind of wrap things up here, guys. I want to thank everyone that's come on the Saturday Live show this week. Really had a great time. CJ was a great guest. Consider subscribing to his channel. Up next week is going to be 2 Passports, 1 Dream. I'm super excited to have him on the show. We're going to look at doing a pre-interview with them next week and get that all knocked out. So I'll leave you with the Saturday Live show outro. I look forward to seeing you back here next week.